Spacey shit.
Welcome to sunny Essex. I've come down to Bradwell-on-Sea to do a bit of astrophotography. So I'm going to do a little bit of widefield using the move, shoot, move. And I've also brought down the little smart scope, the little Dwarf 3. So I thought I'd set the two up. But first off, I thought I'd come for a little walk, see if I can find any foreground interest to make a nice nightscape. I'm hoping to get the move, shoot, move aimed up towards the Orion region of the sky, which is actually getting quite low now because we're in March, so it's getting very low in the south. So I've come here to escape the light pollution of London, because you come here in spring and summer and you can actually see the Milky Way with the naked eye. So it's not a bad little spot. So I'm just going to go for a little walk. There's a little chapel down the bottom of this path. I think it's called St. Peter's Chapel, which is still in use. I'll show you it when we get a little bit closer. Okay, so here's St. Peter's Chapel at Bradwell-on-Sea in Essex. It's quite a nice looking building actually. Probably not the prettiest for a foreground shot, but I will take it. I'm going to take an image. I'm going to get around the other side of it. I checked on Stellarium to see where Orion's going to be, so I'm going to go around this side of the chapel. Take a couple of foreground shots, then I'll carry on walking and see what other foreground shots we can get. Okay, so that's the direction the nebula is going to come up. So I thought I'd set up here, take a foreground shot. It don't look that great on the camera, to be quite honest with you. I might get a bit closer to it, but I'm going to do a couple of shots here anyway. It's quite good lighting. Had a great sunset just now, to be honest. The sunset was amazing. Right, let's get this camera set up. It's still quite bright. The sun has gone down, but it's still pretty bright. So let's take this aperture up to, just so I've got a lot of the foreground in focus. I'm going to put it on f5.6. Shutter speed down to 1/20th of a second. I'm going to focus on the chapel itself. For this, I'm using my Sony A7III for the foreground stuff, and for the move, shoot, move, I'm going to. I've got an astro-modified Sony A6300. No, hang on, bear with me. What am I doing? Right, what am I doing? Right, here we go. I need a self timer. Let's focus on the chapel. There we go. So 1/20th of a second, f5.6, ISO 400. Let's just take a couple of these. Yeah, it's not that great, to be honest. I'm going to stick another lens on. I've got at the moment I'm on 28mm. I've got a 17 to 28mm lens on, set on 28. So I'm going to take that lens off and put a 28 to 75 on and see what we get. Okay, I've stuck the other lens on. It's a little bit better. But it's not that exciting, to be honest. It's just a little bit. It just looks like an old shed, to be quite honest. Well, I'm still walking. I haven't found much yet. What's that over there? Bradwell Bird Observatory. Nothing to photograph though. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that small crescent moon up there? Looks like Venus next to it, I think. Yeah, it must be. Looks nice. I didn't know the moon was out tonight, but there we go. It shouldn't interfere. I think it's on its way down anyway, but it's only, I'd say it's only about 15%, that moon. So it's not going to create any light pollution for us anyway. But yeah, I'm still walking. I'm still at Bradwell-on-Sea, just walking down this little pathway. It's pretty featureless, if I'm quite honest with you, which I find a lot of Essex quite featureless. Some of the coast can be quite interesting. You've got Walton on the Naze, you've got the Naze Tower, which I've photographed in the past. So that makes quite a good foreground image. And down at Bradwell-on-Sea, you've got like a little pavilion with a clock on it, which again makes quite a nice foreground picture. But I've done all that, so hence why I've come here for something a little bit different. But yeah, it's all just very flat. So I wouldn't mind going down to the sort of the mud banks there, but it looks like the tide's not long gone out, and it looks absolutely treacherous. And I've completely the wrong footwear anyway. But just as a point of interest, I don't know if you can see that building in the distance. That's the old Bradwell nuclear power station, which is it's not in use anymore, so I'm not too sure what it is now. Probably just empty. But yeah, I don't know if you can see that with this camera. It's not that far, but this camera's got quite a wide angle lens on it. But I'm just looking down here. I'm gonna take a little walk. Looks like I can get down here. And you've got this sort of like the mud banks there, but it's quite some nice patterns where you've got the water in between the mud. So I'm gonna have a little walk down there anyway. Take a couple of shots, then I'm gonna head back towards the car and get the move shoot move set up and Dwarf 3. Okay, so I've made it down to the, well, not the water's edge, the tide has gone out, but I've made it down to the, well, it looks like I want a bit of sand at the moment, but it soon goes very muddy. It looks like it's very, very slippery down there. But yeah, hopefully you can see this. I've got, I'm using the Osmo Pocket 3 on low light mode, so hopefully it's recording this. It's getting quite dark, so hopefully you can see what I can see. You might be able to see more than what I can see. But again, it's just a bit featureless. I mean, you can see, I don't know if you can see those lights in the distance. I think that is Mersey Island, East Mersey or West Mersey, I think. Oh, that's cool. Wow. I hope you can see that. You definitely hear it if you can't see it. Wow. It's getting quite dark now. So by the time I get to the car, I'll be able to set up the move shoot move and the Dwarf 3. As I said earlier, the move shoot move is going to be tracking the Orion Nebula in that area of the sky, and I think the Dwarf 3, I got a couple of hours the other night where I live, which is badly light polluted. I think it's about probably Bradwell-on-Sea 7 where I live. I've got a couple of hours on the Christmas Tree Nebula. Down here in Bradwell-on-Sea, it's probably a Bradwell 4. Yeah, it's quite nice actually down here when you've got a clear night. Yeah, you look up and the sky is just alive with stars, you know. Yeah, you can't see any space in between the stars. It's quite good. Right, I'm going to switch you off for a minute and I'll come back when I've found something to photograph. Right, I just found these little wooden structures sticking out the, well, I don't know what you'd call that, the mud banks. I don't know if you can see them on the back of the camera there. So I might just use those again as a bit of a leading line. I'm not really sure what these would have been used for. They look like they've been here for a very long time. There's some more sort of scattered out there as well. So obviously get very buried when the tide comes in. I don't know, they would have had a platform on them, like a walkway once upon a time. No idea. But anyway, I'm going to take a couple of shots of this. It makes quite an interesting leading line. I quite like the patterns of the water on the mud there as well. Okay, so let's do this and I will get back to you. Okay, I was walking back towards the car. I'm still on the beach, but I just come across this old pillbox. It's not the prettiest, is it? But do you know what? As I'm here, I'm going to photograph it. And the good thing is, once you've done your foreground images, the car park's always empty. You can set all your gear up outside the car, have a flask of tea, sit in the car, bit of YouTube, bit of Netflix, or if you're into Pornhub, a little bit of Pornhub. But whatever tickles your fancy. Well, there's something really bright in the sky up there. I have no idea what it is. There's no noise. What on earth is it? Oh, that is really weird. It's not a plane. It's too bright for a plane. It's making no noise whatsoever. It's moving. Not very fast, but it's moving. It looks low. What on earth is it? There's no noise from it. Let's keep watching it. It's getting closer and closer. Can you see it on this little camera? What on earth is it? I can just about see some light on the ocean over there as well, so it's got to be a plane, isn't it? Surely, but it's making no noise. Okay, mystery over. I mean, what else could it be? Of course, it was only a plane. It must have been flying right towards me, so yeah, anyway, here we go. Your mind plays tricks, doesn't it, when you're on your own in a dark place, no other people around. It's all a little adventure, and I love it. It's good. Okay, so we've got them both set up. Got the Dwarf there, and right behind it, we've got the move shoot move. Both pointing towards the Orion area. Because the Christmas Tree Nebula is also in that part of the sky as well. Hang on, let's get the torch off my head. Let's give myself a bit of light. Red torch, there we go. Yeah, a lot of people say to me when I come out on my own doing astro, do I get a bit nervous or scared? But you know what, it's like yoga for my mind. It's so relaxing just sitting out. I mean, it's such a quiet area here. I've been here a few times to do a deep space. It takes 1 hour from where I live, so it's not too bad. But the quality in the sky, it's just worth an hour's drive, you know. So I will get back to you once my things are doing their thing. I don't know how many hours I'm going to be down here. I mean, the Christmas Tree Nebula, I've already got, I think, about 2 hours, but that was in a Baltimore 7 sky. I've not even looked at it, to be honest. I thought I'd just come down here tonight, try and at least get another 3 hours on it. It's, as I said, the sky is so much better here. It's going to be a lot more contrast. Should be a lot more detail in the results, but I'll blend that with what I took the other day anyway. I'll stack them all together. And as I said earlier, the move, shoot, move, which has got the A6300 on it, the Sony A6300, which has been modified. That's at 17mm, pointing up towards the Orion Nebula and its neighbours, its neighbouring nebulae. Yeah, I'll just keep them both going for a few hours. I'll have a cup of tea. I've got my flask. There's the back of my phone. That's connected to the Dwarf 3. That's doing a bit of live stacking. Yeah, with the naked eye, you can just about see a bit of nebulosity coming through on the back of the screen. But to be honest, I don't use the stacked images that the Dwarf produces. I do it myself, either using Deep Sky Stacker or Cyril, and I do my own editing as well. Don't get me wrong, the Dwarf does a half decent job doing its own stacking, etc. Oh, red, hang on, red, that's better. Yeah, it does a half decent job. But you know, if you do your own editing, your own stacking, your own editing, etc., you're going to get much better results. It's not far, to be honest, it's not a lot worse than my main rig, and it's a lot easier to set up. You know, don't get me wrong, my main rig it is a little bit better, but you got you've got a big case with the Star Adventurer GTI in it. I've got another case with a scope. I've got a bag full of accessories. You know, you stick it all in the car. You've got to set it all up, set up the ASI air, etc. Which I don't mind doing it. I quite enjoy doing it, the process of it. But I probably wouldn't have brought it with me if primarily using the move, shoot, move. As I said, the Dwarf 3 is so easy and convenient. It's just I just set them both up together and come a bit of an astro slut. There we go. Okay, I think I'm going to call that a night. It's 10 o'clock, so I've got about 3 hours worth of data. So I should. That's quite a lot, especially for the wide field with the what I'm doing for the Orion Nebula. That's quite 3 hours is plenty, to be honest. And the Christmas Tree Nebula, which I've got the Dwarf pointed at, so 3 hours. I've got about 2 hours the other night, so 5 hours in total. That should be enough. Should be enough data to get something decent. So I will get these edited. Again, I'm not too impressed with the foreground shots. I think we've got another clear night tomorrow, apparently. So if so, I might even pop out again, get some different foreground images. But yeah, okay. So I'm going to call it a night. I'm going to do my darks. I'm going to do 10 darks. I'm going to do that now while I'm packing stuff away, and I will show you the images in a sec.